Okay, be honest with me for a second. What is the actual end game of that massive, never-ending to-do list you've got going? We live in this hustle-obsessed culture, right? We're optimizing every second, rushing around, totally convinced that if we just grind hard enough, there's some magical state of peace waiting for us at the finish line. But does that assumption actually hold up in reality?
In today's explainer, we are completely flipping a huge modern assumption on its head, the idea that just grinding for more money is the ultimate ticket to the good life. Now you're here, so you probably care a lot about productivity and getting things done, but what if the whole economic playbook we're using to measure our success is actually literally designed to keep us trapped on a treadmill?
To put this into perspective, we're currently playing a game with some seriously skewed rules. Look at this. The top 1% of people own a massive 31% of the wealth. Meanwhile, the bottom 50%, they're splitting just 1% of it. I mean, that's wild. Our current system is hardwired for endless growth and funneling massive wealth to the very top, while leaving the rest of us feeling, quite frankly, overworked and totally burnt out.
And you know, the ancient philosophers actually saw this coming miles away. Socrates hit the nail on the head when he warned, "Beware the barrenness of a busy life." We love to wear busy like a badge of honor, right? But usually, it's just masking a lack of real direction. We stuff our calendars to the absolute brim with busy work, but wind up completely barren of actual meaning, real connections, or just joy.
So that brings us to the Easterlin paradox. Let's dig into exactly why this relentless pursuit of more usually just leaves us feeling totally empty. Here's the core of it. Economists discovered this fascinating quirk. Once our basic human needs are taken care of, food on the table, a roof over your head, basic security, our average national happiness basically just flatlines, even if average incomes are skyrocketing. Why? It's human adaptability. We get a big raise, maybe buy a flashy new car, and yeah, we feel amazing for a minute. But then, we adapt. We just go right back to our baseline, desperately looking around for the next dopamine hit.
It's exactly like a little animated stickman just running for his life on a financial hamster wheel. Our national wealth and our personal paychecks might climb higher and higher, but our actual day-to-day life satisfaction, it completely plateaus. We're sprinting faster than ever, sweating it out, but emotionally speaking, we aren't moving an inch.
Which means we desperately need an exit strategy. Enter Buddhist Economics, a radically different blueprint for true wealth, popularized by the economist E.F. Schumacher back in the 1970s. Think about traditional free market economics for a second. It basically prioritizes stuff over people. The whole engine runs on endless consumption, maximizing your own status, and kind of shrugging off societal harm as just the cost of doing business. But Buddhist economics, it's a total 180. It places the premium on compassion, building character, and recognizing that we are all interconnected. I mean, we literally cannot thrive if our communities and our planet are falling apart, right?
And that brings us to this brilliant concept of a sufficiency economy. In this model, the ultimate goal isn't just mindlessly hoarding wealth until you drop. The goal is moderation. It's about right livelihood and what they call informed contentment. Honestly, it's the radically rebellious act of just looking around and saying, hey, I actually have enough.
Schumacher famously described this as aiming for the maximum of well-being with the minimum of consumption. Now, let's be super clear here. This is not about glorifying poverty or pretending we shouldn't live comfortable lives. Not at all. It's actually about finding true liberation. It's about shifting our energy away from constantly multiplying our wants and instead focusing on purifying our character. So how does this play out in the real world? Well, let's look at the two fundamentally different types of happiness we experience on a daily basis.
On one side, you've got hedonic happiness. Picture our little stick man excitedly buying the latest, thinnest smartphone. It feels awesome, right? But the thrill fades fast because it's built entirely on just acquiring stuff. Now on the flip side is eudaimonic happiness. This is the feeling you get when you help a neighbor out or mindfully plant a tree in your yard. It's deeper, it's intrinsic, and this is exactly the kind of lasting happiness Buddhist economics is built for.
And the absolute backbone of that eudaimonic happiness is living in harmony with everything around us. It's about ethical consumption. Basically, making sure we aren't wrecking our own mental health, our society, or our environment just to make a buck. True prosperity dictates that your success absolutely shouldn't demand someone else's suffering. Simple as that.
Right, so how do we actually do this? Let's dive into the core rules for finding true wealth in our crazy, hyper-busy modern lives.
We can start by borrowing some killer productivity hacks from the ancients. Seneca tells us to meditate and stay anchored in the present so we don't stress out over the future. Epictetus says, look,
Just focus on what you can control and completely ignore the rest of the noise. Lao Tzu? He wants us to lean into daily systems instead of obsessing over rigid, stressful goals. And Patanjali reminds us to always remember our why, because real purpose is the only thing that fuels genuine passion.
When you match those philosophies together, you get mindful productivity. It goes like this. Step 1, pinpoint the vital few tasks that actually move the needle. Step 2, be absolutely ruthless. Watch our stick guy here just boldly cross out all that non-essential busy work. Step 3, start small but take firm, bite-sized steps. And step 4, and this is absolutely key, actually allow yourself to enjoy the process of doing the work.
It all boils down to this brilliant, incredibly simple mantra: do less, better. True productivity, and honestly, true wealth, is never going to come from a frantic, back-to-back, overscheduled calendar. It comes from pouring your energy into a handful of vital things that align with your actual purpose and flat out refusing to rush just to meet some totally artificial deadline.
So I'm going to leave you with this thought to close out our explainer. Take a really hard, honest look at your own daily grind. Are your economic choices, your purchases, the way you spend your Tuesday afternoons, are they actually serving your ultimate well-being, or are they just keeping you spinning on that hamster wheel? It is time to redefine what true wealth means to you, because honestly, you might just realize you already have everything you need.